There is a chili pepper that lives for 15 years. One plant. 15 years of fruit. No replanting. It grows in freezing rain. It has black seeds, the only pepper on Earth with them. And it was the dominant food crop across an entire civilization for 6,000 years. Most people have never heard of it. Its name is Capsicum pubescens, the rocoto. And everything you know about growing peppers is about to flip upside down. Pick up any jalapeno, any habanero, any serrano, and cut it open. The seeds are white or cream-colored. Every single cultivated pepper species on Earth produces light-colored seeds. Except one. The rocoto produces seeds that are jet black. Not dark brown, not speckled, pure black. This is not a variety thing, this is genetic. Published genomic research from 2024 confirms this is encoded at the species level. Every Capsicum pubescens plant on the planet, whether it is growing in Peru, Germany, or Tasmania, produces black seeds. And those black seeds tell you something critical. This plant cannot cross-pollinate with any other pepper. It is reproductively isolated. The seed you save this year will grow exactly the same plant next year, and the year after, and the year after that. For 6,000 years, this genetic stability has held. Now here's where it gets strange. You know the standard pepper story. Jalapenos, habaneros, Thai chilies, they are all tropical. They need heat, humidity, long, warm summers. The rocoto wants none of that. According to the Cabby Compendium, Capsicum pubescens is the only domesticated chili species physiologically adapted to cool highland climates. Read that again. The only one. While your habanero dies at the first frost, the rocoto thrives in it. It was domesticated between 1,500 and 3,500 meters above sea level in the Andes, where temperatures drop sharply at night and frost brushes the soil regularly. Published research documents that the plant can survive temperatures as low as -3 degrees Celsius for 1 to 2 nights. The fruit itself, hanging on the plant in cold rain, does not lose quality, it does not soften. The thick walls protect the interior. There is a reason almost no one outside the Andes grows this plant, and it has nothing to do with whether it works. Let me show you what perennial chili actually means. Most pepper plants, you are lucky to get 2 seasons out of them, maybe 3 if you're in a perfect climate. The rocoto, reports from growers in Tasmania, Germany and New Zealand document individual plants surviving over a decade with proper pruning. Sandia Seed Company's cultivation notes confirm plants reaching 15 years old. Here is what that means practically. 1 purchase of seeds, 1 season to establish. Then 10+ years of continuous harvest from the same plant. If you prune it back to about 10 centimeters before winter and cover the base with straw, it re-emerges from the rootstock in spring. Same plant, same genetics. Year after year. 1 rocoto plant in a 30-centimeter pot can produce approximately 40 chilies per harvest, multiple times per year for over a decade. Calculate that. Now look at the fruit itself. It doesn't look like a chili, it looks like a small apple or a miniature bell pepper, round, thick-walled and heavy. The flesh can be up to 1 centimeter thick. When you bite into it, it doesn't crunch like a bell pepper, it bleeds like a tomato. The thick walls hold juice. And the heat? Phytochemical analysis from Peru's Instituto Nacional de Innovación Agraria tested 32 varieties, 8,400 to 60,000 Scoville heat units. At the high end, that's habanero territory. But here's the difference. A habanero spikes fast and fades. The rocoto builds slowly, spreads across your whole mouth, and sustains. Food writers consistently describe it as fruity, earthy, with berry notes underneath the burn. It doesn't taste like pain, it tastes like fruit. And nutritionally, 120 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams, that's 133% of your daily intake. Antioxidant capacity ranges from 71 to 84% in D/P/pH assays. Vitamin E ranges from 6.8 to 18.4 milligrams per 100 grams. These aren't supplement numbers, these are the numbers of a staple crop. Genetic evidence places its domestication at roughly 6,000 years ago in what is now Peru and Bolivia. It was cultivated by the Paracas, the Nazca, the Moche, the Chimu, before the Inca Empire even existed. When the Inca came to power, they adopted it and grew it on terraced highlands between 1,500 and 2,900 meters above sea level. It wasn't an occasional crop, it was the dominant highland chili across the entire Andean world. And there's one dish that survived from that time to today, almost unchanged. Rocoto relleno, stuffed rocoto, baked until soft. Ground beef, onions, hard-boiled egg, peas, spices, packed inside the hollowed pepper, topped with cheese, baked slowly. The thick walls don't collapse. They hold structure through the entire oven process in a way a bell pepper never could. This is the signature dish of Arequipa, Peru, the same essential format the Inca used. It survived colonization, survived the transformation of Andean society, and it's still served in markets and homes today. 6,000 years, same plant, same dish. Now here's where the rocoto becomes genuinely practical for modern growers. It dries whole, and it keeps its full flavor. A 2024 study from Peru's Universidad Nacional de Trujillo found optimal drying conditions, 57.5 to 67.5 degrees Celsius, for 11 to 15 hours. At those temperatures, the antioxidant capacity retention stayed between 75 and 80%. That's exceptional for whole fruit drying. The thick walls, when dried, become a dense, leathery casing that acts as a natural barrier against the three main degradation agents: oxygen, light, and moisture. Stored in sealed packaging, dried rocoto retained between 77 to 87% of its capsaicinoid content after 5 months. This means one harvest from one plant can last you through an entire winter with minimal quality loss. Grind it into powder, rehydrate it for sauces, use it whole in stews. One plant, one harvest, months of use. So here's the question you should be asking. If this pepper is cold hardy, perennial, nutritionally dense, has stable genetics, unique flavor, and was a staple crop for 6,000 years, why have you never heard of it? There is no conspiracy, just a pattern. The global spice trade was built on tropical capsicums that could be grown at scale in hot climates. Capsicum annuum became the bell pepper and the jalapeno. Capsicum chinense became the super hot movement. Capsicum frutescens became Tabasco. And Capsicum pubescens, the one adapted to cold highlands with the longest productive life, with the most complex flavor, was the one least suited to industrial tropical cultivation. The supply chain did not reach it. The seed catalogs overlooked it. It stayed in the Andes, where it has always been, until now. If you want to grow rocoto, here's what works. Start seeds in February or early March. This plant has a long juvenile phase, 90 to 120 days from transplant to first fruit. Use a container at least 30 centimeters deep and 30 centimeters wide. Use well-draining soil with a pH between 6 and 7. Give it partial shade, 4 to 6 hours of direct light daily. It prefers partial shade over full midday sun. This is not a desert plant. Keep temperatures between 15 and 25 degrees Celsius for best fruit set. It tolerates cold, but it fruits in moderate temperatures. Fertilize after branching and after flowering begins. Potassium and magnesium are key. One plant in optimal conditions yields approximately half a kilogram per harvest from up to 40 chilies. When harvesting for drying, pick fully colored fruit. Dry whole at low heat under 70 degrees Celsius for 11 to 16 hours, or air dry in a well-ventilated space out of direct sunlight. Store dried whole or ground in sealed glass jars away from light. Capsaicinoid retention holds for 1 to 2 years easily. Your local garden center will not carry this. Here is where to actually find seeds and live plants. Specialty chili mail order operations include Dave's Seed in Australia, chili plants in Europe, and Pack and Heat. On Etsy, search specifically for Capsicum pubescens. Independent growers ship globally. In India, Desert Cart lists rocoto seed mixes, and Etsy storefronts ship internationally. When ordering internationally, verify import compliance with your country's plant biosecurity rules. If you want to trial the flavor before growing, some specialty food importers stock dried rocoto from Peruvian and Bolivian suppliers. Sometimes finding the dried fruit is easier than finding the seed. One more thing worth knowing. The capsaicin in rocoto is currently under active scientific investigation for neuroprotective effects. Published research from 2024 documents capsaicin's mechanism through the TRPV1 receptor pathway, showing promise for chronic pain, management, and inflammation. A study from 2026 examined rocoto extract specifically in Parkinson's disease models, documenting its unique composition of capsaicin, dihydrocapsaicin, antioxidants, and vitamins as a profile of neuroprotective interest. This isn't a claim about treatment. This is a direction of active inquiry prompted by a 6,000-year-old crop. The people who cultivated this plant for millennia may have understood something we're only now beginning to measure. Right now, there are plants growing in cold gardens in Germany, in Tasmania, in New Zealand, fruiting in rain, surviving winters, producing black-seeded fruit that looks like no other chili you've grown. Not because anyone promoted them widely, because the plants simply kept growing. The world's most extraordinary plants don't announce themselves, they don't show up in catalogues, they don't trend on social media, they just keep producing, year after year, decade after decade. The only variable is whether you decide to find them. If this opens something for you, subscribe. There are more plants like this one, and we're finding them. Leave a comment if you've tried rocoto, or if you're going to grow it this season. Share this with one person who grows chilies, just one. Most extraordinary things don't announce themselves, but once you see them, you can't unsee them.